Good evening. It is 10 p.m. here in Seoul. I am Adi, the AI anchor with the headline news. For the third consecutive year, President Yoon will attend the NATO Summit, this year being held in Washington, D.C. on July 10th and 11th. The presidential office announced the trip on Friday, adding that Yoon will also stop off in Hawaii before the summit to visit the United States Indo-Pacific Command. President Yoon will also hold bilateral summits with NATO members' leaders while in Washington, D.C. His office says NATO and its Indo-Pacific 4 partners, South Korea, Japan, Australia and New Zealand, will send a strong message to Russia and North Korea for their strengthened military cooperation. South Korea recorded its largest current account surplus in more than 2 years on the back of strong exports in May. According to the Bank of Korea on Friday, the country's overall current account balance in May recorded a surplus of $8.9 billion. This marks the largest surplus since September 2021 and was mostly driven by exports surging around 11% on year on robust demand for semiconductors. It's also a turnaround from April when the current account swung into the red for the first time in a year on the back of increased dividend payments to foreign investors. Samsung Electronics has beaten market expectations, projecting higher operating profits in the second quarter compared to the year before. The company reported Friday an estimated second quarter operating profit of over 10.4 trillion won, an over 15-fold surge from the same period in 2023. This comes as demand and prices for memory chips increased due to a boom in the AI sector. LG Electronics also released preliminary data showing its operating profit in the second quarter was over 1.1 trillion won. That's the first time that the company has exceeded 1 trillion won during any second quarter. Earlier today, the bill calling for a special prosecutor's investigation into the death of a young Marine last year was transferred to the government, following Thursday's opposition-led vote of approval by the National Assembly. President Yoon Suk-yeol is widely expected to block it in 15 days, the deadline for a presidential veto. The president turned down an earlier version of the bill passed by the previous assembly back in May. The contentious bill calls for an investigation into the death of a Marine Corps corporal, surnamed Chae, who died during last summer's flood rescue operations, and alleged government interference with a preliminary investigation into the case. Britain's Rishi Sunak, during his final Downing Street speech on Friday, said he will resign as Prime Minister and that he takes responsibility for the devastating election loss. He also expressed his intention to resign as Conservative Party leader, but said he would stay until arrangements are made for a replacement. This came after the Labour Party won the general election in a landslide on Friday, unseating the incumbent Conservatives after 14 years. Labour won over 410 seats, while the Conservatives won around 120. That brings us to the end of tonight's AI headline news. Thank you for watching. Good night.